My name's Marcus, and I never thought my son's third birthday would be the day my whole world crashed down. A couple of years before that, I married my high school sweetheart, Emily. We were those couple goals everyone envied: good jobs, first house, and our little boy Ollie was the center of our universe. Ollie's third birthday was officially the biggest party we'd ever thrown. I spent weeks planning it, juggling work and invites, wanting everything perfect for my little guy. The plan was simple. I'd take Ollie to the kids' party at the community center while Emily finished last-minute preparations at home. I remember that morning so clearly. We made pancakes together, Ollie wearing his favorite dinosaur shirt, Emily kissing both our heads before I loaded the birthday boy into the car. "Have fun, you too," she smiled, waving from the doorway. "I'll get everything ready here." I dropped Ollie off at the party, watching him run straight to the bouncy castle with pure joy. I kissed his chocolate-stained cheek and told him I'd be right back with more snacks from home. The drive back was maybe 10 minutes. I was humming along to the radio, thinking about how lucky I was to have such a perfect family. When I walked into our house, it was eerily quiet. No sounds of party prep, no music, nothing. "Emily?" I called out. "Babe, you okay?" No answer. I headed toward our bedroom, thinking maybe she was changing clothes or wrapping a last-minute gift. That's when I heard voices, multiple voices, coming from behind our closed bedroom door. My hand froze on the doorknob. Something in my gut told me not to open that door, but I couldn't stop myself. What I saw will be burned into my memory forever. Emily wasn't alone. There were 3 men in our bed, strangers. And they were filming everything on their phones, laughing like it was all some big joke. The birthday decorations I'd hung in the hallway that morning were visible in the background of their sick home movie. My mind went completely blank. My stomach lurched. The sounds, the images, the complete violation of everything I thought was sacred, it all hit me at once. How could she do this? Today, on our son's birthday, in our bed. I backed out of that room like I was walking away from a car crash. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely grab my keys. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't say a word. I just left. I sat in my car outside the community center for 20 minutes, trying to process what I had just seen. Inside, I could hear kids laughing and parents chatting, normal families having a normal day. Meanwhile, my world had just exploded. But Ollie was in there, probably wondering where his daddy went with those snacks. So I forced myself to walk back in with a smile on my face and pretend everything was fine. "Daddy!" He ran up to me, chocolate frosting all over his face. "Look what I won!" He held up a small plastic trophy from some party game. "That's amazing, buddy," I said, picking him up and holding him tight. In that moment, he was the only real thing left in my life. I got through the rest of that party on autopilot. I sang happy birthday, I helped him blow out candles, I took 100 pictures of him with his friends. But inside, I was dying. When the party ended, I couldn't bring myself to go home. Instead, I took Ollie to the park, then to get ice cream, then to the toy store. Anywhere but back to that house.
"Where's Mommy?" he asked as we sat on a bench, sharing a cone of strawberry ice cream. "She's busy, buddy," I said, fighting the lump in my throat. "But it's just me and you right now, okay? Is that okay?" He nodded, more interested in his ice cream than my emotional breakdown. That night, I booked us into a motel. I told Ollie it was an adventure, like camping, but with a TV. He thought it was the coolest thing ever. I spent the night staring at the ceiling while he slept peacefully beside me. In the days that followed, Emily tried to call. She left voicemails claiming it wasn't what it looked like, that she could explain, that she was sorry. But what explanation could possibly make sense? What apology could fix what I'd seen? I changed the locks on the house and filed for divorce. Emily moved in with her sister and started demanding custody of Ollie, claiming I'd abandoned them by leaving that day. The court battles were hell. Emily's lawyer painted me as an unstable father who'd walked out on his family during a crisis. My lawyer fought back with evidence of her infidelity, but the system moves slowly when there's a child involved. Through it all, I had one focus: being the father Ollie deserved. I learned every bedtime routine, every favorite snack, every silly song that made him giggle. I became the dad who never missed a school pickup, never forgot a permission slip, never said, "Ask your mother," because there was only me. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal or the divorce proceedings. It was the nights when Ollie would cry for his mommy, and I'd have to comfort him while my own heart was shattered. But here's what I discovered. Betrayal doesn't have to break you. It can rebuild you. Those first months of single parenting were brutal. I was working full-time at the automotive plant while trying to be a full-time dad. Some nights, after putting Ollie to bed, I'd collapse on the couch and wonder how I was going to make it through another day. But I did make it. Day by day, we both healed. I surprised everyone, including myself, by going back to school at night. Community college classes in business management, something I'd always wanted to try but never had time for. Ollie would do his coloring books while I studied, both of us at the kitchen table working on our homework. 2 years later, those night classes paid off. I got promoted to shift supervisor, then plant manager. My income doubled, and for the first time since the divorce, I felt financially secure. But more than the money, I felt proud. I was showing Ollie that when life knocks you down, you get back up stronger. Around that time, I met Jenna. She was a single mom too, picking up her daughter from the same daycare where I dropped off Ollie. We started talking in the parking lot, comparing notes about the exhaustion of single parenting, sharing tips about bedtime routines. Jenna didn't judge me for my story. She had her own tale of betrayal and rebuilding. Her ex-husband had left when their daughter was diagnosed with autism. She understood what it meant to be abandoned when you needed support most. Our relationship grew slowly, built on friendship and shared understanding. She embraced Ollie like he was her own son, and I loved her daughter Maya just as fiercely. We blended our families carefully, with lots of communication and patience. Movie nights became the four of us on one couch. Bedtime stories became tag team efforts. Holiday traditions got bigger and better. Emily eventually remarried and moved across the country. She sees Ollie during summer breaks now, which is enough for him to maintain a relationship with his biological mother without the chaos she brought to our daily lives. Looking back at that third birthday, the worst day of my life, I realized it was also the beginning of my real life. That betrayal stripped away everything I thought I knew about love, family, and trust. But it also showed me what I was truly capable of. I discovered I could be the kind of father who shows up no matter what. The kind of man who rebuilds instead of break down. The kind of person who chooses hope over bitterness. Ollie is 8 now, and he's thriving. He's confident, funny, and kind, the kind of kid who makes friends easily and stands up for others. He calls Jenna bonus mom and treats Maya like the sister he always wanted. Sometimes people ask me how I got over what Emily did. The truth is, you don't get over something like that. You get through it. You learn to carry it without letting it carry you. Ollie's third birthday didn't just mark another year of his life. It marked the beginning of mine. As a single father, as a man who discovered his own strength, and eventually, as part of a family built on honesty, instead of lies. That little boy who ran to me covered in chocolate frosting, holding a plastic trophy and beaming with joy. He saved me that day as much as I saved him. And every birthday since has been a celebration not just of his life, but the life we built together from the wreckage of that terrible day.